Will Young has shared a sweet snap of his late twin brother Rupert as he heartbreakingly admitted he misses his best pal. Rupert fell from Westminster Bridge in July last year following a long battle with mental health and an addiction to alcohol and painkillers. Taking to his Instagram stories on Wednesday, the pop idol winner, 42, uploaded an image of his sibling playing with several puppies, pinning alongside it "I accept my grief and validate it." The photos sees Rupert sitting on the ground smiling as he plays with several adorable puppies, who were pictured clambering over his legs. Captioning his post, Will wrote, "I accept my grief and validate it. Miss my best pal, and to anyone else grieving, I hear you and see you." Rupert died on July 30 last year, just days after he was admitted to Guy's and St Thomas' Hospital on July 28, when he had been seen walking along the edge of the bridge in the capital. St Pancras Coroner's Court in North London was told he had been admitted to hospital 4 times in the week prior to his death, as he struggled with alcoholism and his mental health. He was trying to avoid homelessness and told hospital staff that he had been attempting to contact his father for a place to stay before leaving the hospital without telling anyone, the inquest heard. Senior Coroner Mary Hassel gave a ruling of suicide at a hearing in January, finding that Rupert had intended to take his own life. Following the conclusion of the inquest, singer Will said it had been a difficult time for himself and his family. "Those working within the NHS do an amazing job under very difficult circumstances," he told reporters. "And it's never been more hard-pressed than at the moment, of course. However, my brother is someone who had, in the months and weeks before his death, been into hospital on countless times following suicide attempts." Will said he was astounded that his brother had been allowed to leave hospital 2 days after his suicide attempt without being referred to a consultant psychiatrist. "It is my belief that it must, or should have, been obvious to all concerned that he was at high risk of suicide and should have been detained under the Mental Health Act for his own safety," he said. "Had this been done, he might still be alive today. I know we are not the only family in this situation, and I pray that lessons are learned from this situation and that some of these deaths are prevented in the future." Will, who was thrust into the spotlight after winning Pop Idol in 2002, attended his brother's inquest in December, where he described himself as his brother's carer before it became too much. Speaking at the inquest, Will said, "I was a carer for him, but it became too much. He could not look after himself and I did not believe he could look after his own life. I feel it is difficult for me. I am someone who is pretty in control over my emotional well-being. I am a functional adult. I have done a lot of work on myself." The coroner heard Rupert had an ongoing problem with alcohol and painkiller addiction, which improved when he was around animals, dogs and horses in particular. A toxicologist report showed he had alcohol in his system at the time of his death. For decades, Rupert battled with his mental health, including depression and PTSD, and made many suicide threats and attempts, the inquest heard. Will said, "Rupert struggled with depression and anxiety, I would say for 20 years. Over that time, more times than I can think of, there have been suicide attempts or suicide ideation. Most of the time if it was threatening to jump off my roof, threatening to jump off a bridge, having a noose around his neck, having a knife. It would be a cry for help. There were few times actually that he had gone full through with it. Around a week before the tragedy, Will reported his brother to the police as a trespasser and Rupert was removed from the house. He had lived with Will on and off for 3 years and had no other support system or friends, it was said.